What's going on, guys? Scott Martin here, Bassmaster Pro, and you're watching how to catch a bass in extremely heavy cover with creature baits and jigs in the fall. Freaking 10 pounds, dude. Got it, you got it. Googly eyes. Oh, I got it. Wow. Wow.
Giant.
So let me get right to it, guys. In the fall, fish seem to suspend quite a bit, and they also seem to get out into some submerged timber. And that's what we have here. We're in central Oklahoma. It's the fall. There's a thermocline right now at about 16 feet, so most of the bass are suspended in some of these trees that we're gonna go out in this lake and find. And I'm gonna use my Garmin Panoptix to locate them, and I'm gonna take creature baits and jigs to catch them. I'm gonna show you how that works. It's a really, really cool technique. It's a specialized technique, but once you get good at it, you can really catch some nice fish. So first, let me run through my setup. All right, so the first setup is a standard creature bait. You know, you can throw a lot of different things or flip a lot of different things, but my go-to the last couple years, you know what it is, guys. It's the Guggen Baits Bandito Bug. I mean, I've just caught so many fish on this thing. It just works year-round, all the time. So basically, that's gonna be my number one setup, and number two is gonna be my jig. But first, let's talk about this setup here. When you're flipping trees, okay, and those fish are suspended, some of these trees are in 20 foot of water, but again, these fish might only be 5 to 7 feet down, 10 feet down. I don't want a real heavy weight, right? I'm not trying to go to the bottom. I want the bait to go through the tree or go down around some of these submerged trees and just kind of hover and flutter down there real slow. And a lot of times those fish will pick it up midway down because it's a slow fall. You don't want to flip a big 1 ounce or a ounce and a half or even a 3/4. I'm flipping a 1/4 ounce around these trees. And again, some of these trees are really, really bushy, but I want it to get down there and I want it to get on a limb like halfway down and hold it there, kind of like a crawdad would be crawling up a tree. And a lot of times those suspended bass will grab it. Now, 1/4 ounce weight, typically 5/0 Trocar EWG, 20 pound. This is one of those techniques you have to flip heavy line. This is 20 pound P-line fluorocarbon, and my favorite rod in the world, the Pro Series 7.6 Heavy. We designed these rods for Favorite. Myself, Mark Daniels, Andy Morgan, the whole Favorite crew designed these rods. Awesome. And got it rigged up on a Shimano Metanium high-speed reel, and that's my flipping setup right there. You know, color-wise, you just kind of play with it a little bit. You know, your darks, your watermelons, if the water's really clear, or it's a real bright and sunny day, sometimes your watermelons work. If it's a cloudy day or the water conditions are a little dark, a black and blue really works well. So that's a pretty simple setup there. Now, let's talk about my second setup. Standard jig right here. This is a 1/2 ounce Guggen Squad flipping jig right here, thick jig. I've got it rigged up with a crack and crawl on the back of it, and that crack and crawl has big, big, big legs, moves a lot of water, and it slows that bait down for a pretty slow fall through the water column. And that is my secondary bait as well. Now, if it's a really, really thick tree, super thick, I'll flip these. Or if it's a really thick area on the bottom, I'll flip this down there. But most of the time, again, it's my creature bait. Now, I will have this rod rigged up a lot of times with fluorocarbon, but this particular situation, I've got it rigged up on 50 pound P-line X-Braid. 7.6 Favorite, big sexy rod right here. Shimano Metanium 8-to-1 again, and this is a really good, this is my heavy cover, right? Like if I think I really need to get in there with them, I'll go with this. But again, most of the time, my go-to is my creature bait. So now, where do we look for these fish? Now, when I'm looking for these fish, a lot of times I'm trying to find the creek channel in the back of these creeks around this flooded timber, and I want to try to follow the creek channel. A lot of times those fish will be relating to the channel itself or a bend in the channel. That's a very, very good place to look. And basically just take your Garmin maps. You can see where the creek channel is on your maps, or just as you're trolling it around, you'll see it drop into the creek channel. And so I'm gonna follow that creek channel and look for a couple of those trees that have those fish all wadded up around it. It's a really, really great way of catching fish, especially in the fall, especially when those fish are tough. And guys, I've won tournaments doing this. It's a pretty cool technique, so let's get to it. Let me show you how it's done. All right, look at all these trees here behind us. So this is the creek channel here on this lake. We're on the back of a major creek right here, and the creek channel runs right through here, and these big trees are all set up right here along the edge. You can see the trees on the Panoptix right there. Now, you know what? You heard me talk about the thermocline. This dense interference right here If you look at that right there, that dense interference, this happens in the fall. That is the thermocline. It's actually, I said 16 foot, it's actually 22 foot right now. It's dropped down. But that interference, and look, these are fish, and they're above the thermocline. They're not gonna go below that thermocline. That thermocline is colder water. And so that's why you get out here in these deeper areas, it's 28 foot of water right here, and those fish are gonna be suspended above the thermocline in the trees. And that's what we're dealing with here. So again, I'm not fishing the bottom, I'm just looking around for fish in these trees. And a tree like this is a perfect example. I'm not gonna try to go right to the middle of the tree. Try to take some of those perimeter limbs like that right there. Pitch it in and let it sink. A lot of times I'll take my Panoptix and I'll shine it in there just to kind of see if I can see my bait falling down. And look, it's only gone down maybe 10 feet right now. And I'm just gonna hold it there. I'm holding that bait there in that tree and I'm pulling it up the limb and I'm just holding it. I'm just holding it there. And I'm gonna pull it up a little more and then I'm gonna drop it back down. I'm fishing that middle part of the tree to the top. Again, utilizing the Panoptix is very, very important. I can tell a lot of times if there's fish in the tree. I don't see any in this one, but I'm dropping it down, trying to get it down a little lower. I mean, a lot of times when I find them, guys, it's like there's a tree right there. See this tree in the water? And a lot of times it's like there's suspended fish in that tree. Big old trees like this. Man, look at that, guys. Again, that's the thermocline. That is not the bottom. We're in 24 foot of water. That's at 20 foot. That interference is that thicker water. It's colder and those fish will not go below that. And that's, again, what happens in the fall. Something to really pay attention to. Late summer and fall, that thermocline is a real deal. And it's extremely cold below that. I don't want to go right to the heart of the tree because a lot of times they're not necessarily right at the middle part of the tree. They're kind of hanging out around it. And I do want those limbs to kind of break free. Here's some right here, guys. This is like literally right here. Look at this on the screen. Right here are fish. They're right above the thermocline. Perfectly right here on this little channel bend. Right here in some submerged trees that you can't see. I can see them on the Panoptix. And I'm going down that limb just a little bit here. Oh, he got it. One got it. Oh! Yeah, got him out. Oh, it's a big one. Look at this fish, guys. Look at this fish. That's a nice one. Look at that. Look at that fish. Whoa, that's what I'm talking about, guys. That right there was perfect. Right here on the channel bend. Again, I didn't catch that fish on the bottom. That fish was suspended halfway down that tree. Oh gosh, so beautiful bass. Look at that. That's how you catch a bass, suspended in a treetop. Again, not on the bottom. Watching your bait on the Panoptix go down, or if you don't have Panoptix, just figure out your fall rate and count it down, right? Okay, you know that your bait's down 10 feet, 12 feet, whatever it may be. As long as you're not below that thermocline, you'll be in good shape. That's a nice fish. You know what? We're not done. We gotta see if we can catch one more. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. There's a bunch of fish right there around that tree. Make sure that when you're doing this technique that you really make this thing weedless, right? You don't want your hook sticking out in any way. You really want it really good and not sticking out, right? Because you don't want to get hung up in a tree like this, especially when you find a tree that has a school of fish on them. A lot of times in the fall, that's what happens. It's a group of fish. In the fall, they group up. See, there's still some there. There's still some there right by that tree, guys. I'm gonna hold it on that limb. Oh, he bit it. He bit it. Oh, yeah, I got him. Got him. Oh, it's another good one. Oh, that's awesome. That right there is pretty darn cool. Oh, yeah. Pretty darn cool. How about that? Choked it. And again, what's neat about it is you know, able to see with the Panoptix, I'm able to see my bait going down. I'm able to see those fish react to it. Now, again, if you don't have Panoptix, it's okay, you can still do this technique. It's a little harder because you don't know which trees have the fish, so you gotta kinda have to go a little blind. So here's what you can do though, to know that you're not going too deep. Figure out your fall rate. Every weight, size, and every type of creature bait is gonna have a different fall rate. Even your line size will dictate that a lot. So here's how you figure it out. This is a 7.5 foot rod. I'm gonna pull off another 3 feet or so, okay? So that's roughly 10 feet of line out. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw it in the water, I'm gonna count. And when that 10 feet gets pulled in the water totally, see how many seconds that is, okay? It's called your fall rate. So watch this, here we go. Drop it in like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's about a 6. Got tight on a 6. So almost a 5, right? So in 5 seconds, it's gonna go 10 feet. 6 seconds, it's maybe 12 feet, whatever the math may be. So I know that if I count to 6, my bait's about 10 foot down, right? Oh, see, look at them right here. Look at them right here. They're right there by that tree. And again, guys, they're not all the way down to the bottom. They're right there above that tree. They're right there. That's a suspended fish, 9 feet down. Okay, here we go, here we go. Let's count it down, 40 feet away. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's about 10 feet right there. I'm gonna hold my bait. Hold it right there in the tree. See if another one will get it. Right there. Oh, I think he got it. I don't know where he is. I think he's still on there. I feel him. Oh, maybe. I moved him. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Oh, there he is right there. He's right there. He's right there under the surface. He's literally right there. If this was a tournament, I would be going in like crazy right now. But I think I might be able to finagle it around. Maybe. Maybe. Let's see if I can get him. He's right here. He's right here. Oh God. I knocked him off. There he is. Here he is. I cannot get him. Do not judge me on that landing, okay? Do not judge me on that landing. Wow. Well, that's how you do it, guys. Right there, another nice fish. Wow. That was cool. That was cool. See you, dude. Now that's 3 fish we caught right here in this little channel swing. I kind of went a little too deep on that one, and that's the reason you don't want to do that. Because now I've blown the spot out. There's probably a few more fish to be caught right here, but it is what it is. But that's how you catch fish in heavy cover, suspended in the fall, guys. It's a pretty cool little technique. Count your bait down, or if you have Garmin Panoptix, get out here on these channel swings and find those fish suspended. Flip you a nice creature bait in there, hold it on a limb, and see what happens. So thanks for watching, guys. Do me a favor, huge favor. We've got a whole tip series on the channel on how to catch a bass. Be sure to share that out to as many people as you can. Drop a comment and let me know what videos you would like to keep seeing, okay? We're gonna keep doing these tip videos forever. And so we'd love to be able to do some that you guys would like to watch. So thanks again, be sure to subscribe, and we will see you guys. Bam!